100%. You know what? I think tomorrow that's going to be the plan. We tried the Final Fantasy. I fucking hated it, every second of it. Just about. I don't know if I can play that shit again. Find another game to play. I think, yeah, I did not fucking like that shit, dude. Straight up. I had the Final Fantasy people in here, you know, the ones who love the game, and I don't wanna shit on their thing, you know, because if you enjoy it, that's value, you know. Oh, bro, like, okay, I don't know if you play too much Final Fantasy XIV or many MMOs or anything like that, but first of all, the combat is awful. Okay, like, the combat is really stiff. You can't move around too much, you know, there's not much of a point in moving around until something drops an AoE on you. Like, it just locks you into this global cooldown, so it's kind of like playing a rhythm game, you know what I mean? Like, the optimization is pressing your abilities at the right time. You know what I mean? I can't just queue up all my abilities and shoot them out like in this game. Like, in this game, I can fucking go 100%, you know, full fucking throttle and just press all my buttons and all my buttons come out. But in that other one, I have to sit there and wait and click. And like, I heard a person talking about the game and they were like, you know, at first I thought the slowness of the gameplay would interfere. Yeah, pretty much. They were like, I thought the slowness of the gameplay would interfere with like fun. But it allowed me to click my abilities, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to click my abilities. Like, I don't, you know, not click my abilities because I you know, I really want to click. It's like, no, dude, I actually fucking know how to use my mouse and my keyboard. Like, I just feel like it's not an MMO for people who are very adept at games. To be honest, I think it's an MMO for people who don't really play MMOs. And probably watch a bit of anime here and there. Maybe some Sword Art Online, maybe some Attack on Titan. You know what I mean? And that's not really my thing, to be honest. What else? The little midgets, the midget class, the Lalafell they're called. They're like, I don't know why the fuck they're in there. Yeah, it might be. Does Barbaro play? He might. Honestly, I wouldn't be fucking surprised. I feel like he would love that shit. He'd go hard, you know. But yeah, the Lalafell are like really little chibi cute thingies, but it's like, why are they like that? You know what I mean? They're just like that for the fan service. You know, we've got little mini people in our game, but the reason they're so small is because they're really fucking smart and they like live underground. Like, the backstory for why the races are even there is so much better in Guild Wars. The story itself is so much better in Guild Wars. You know what I mean? Everyone, I played it, and there was the guy in chat, and he was like, oh, you have to like immerse yourself in the story. And I'm like, dude, I've played many fucking MMOs. If this was my first MMO ever, and I'd only watched like 3 animes in my life, yeah, absolutely, I'd totally fucking immerse myself in the story, because I don't usually immerse myself in stories. But the fact is, I do immerse myself in stories all the time. Okay? I fucking love stories. I read books, for fuck's sake. Okay? Like, I know what a good story's like. And listening to some stupid fucking anime guy talk about, oh, I fucking do this and that, and I need help. This is my job is being interrupted. I need help. Dude, I know, bro. I know, this is an MMO. I'm the hero of the fucking world. I go around and I help people who are having trouble doing what they do. Like, how long until that's done? Oh no, it's 100 hours into the game. That's when the story starts getting interested. Then why the fuck would you tell me to be immersed in a fucking go get 10 bear assholes? I'm not immersed in that. You know what I mean? And I feel bad just clicking through the story because it makes me feel like I'm not giving it a fair chance. But it's like, dude, I literally don't have the brain fucking capacity to give this shit a fair chance because it's not doing anything. It's doing the same exact shit that every other MMO does. You motherfuckers might not have played any other MMO. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, yeah, dude, I could tell you to be immersed in the fucking WoW story. I really could. You know what I mean? But you're not gonna go and read all that fucking text when the dude tells you to kill 10 hyenas. You don't give a shit why. You don't care. Yeah, $10 a fucking month, dude. Fuck that. And you gotta buy all the fucking expansions and all the fucking bullshit. It's like, oh my god. You know what I mean? You can get to level cap in this game without paying a single fucking cent. You know that? You can get to level 80 for free. And then, like, but the thing is, And the thing is, you have to buy the expansions, and that's another 2 fucking sets of 10 levels. So you can't get to cap because the level cap is increased with the expansions. Level cap is not increased with the expansions here. It's just more content. Leveling is not more content, bro. Okay, getting another 10 fucking levels is not more content, as far as I'm fucking concerned. That's more grinding and shit. What else? It's just full of RP kids. It's just full of kids who fucking like anime, RPing with their little fucking anime boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? Honestly, everything they did, every single thing in that game is a complete, it's just WoW Vanilla or WoW BC with shittier combat, okay, and more anime shit. It's just a reskin version of Burning Crusade or Vanilla with worse fucking combat. I don't know how the fuck. Actually, WoW combat is not that bad. That's why people play that fucking game. Because the combat is good, okay? There isn't a massive fucking global cooldown. There isn't like, it's not telling you to sit down and play fucking turn-based MMO. Dude, I don't want to play a turn-based MMO. I just want to press my buttons. I want to do my things, but I have to sit here. And like, I played like 7 or 8 levels of the Pugilist, and it's literally like, dude, oh my fucking god. I don't give a shit how good your game is at cap. I don't give a fuck how good your game is at cap. If your game is a piece of shit right off the bat, you have gated me from ever getting to cap. Don't fucking, I don't want my time that I'm spending money. I'm spending $10 fucking a month, and I paid for the expansions. And you're gonna tell me that I have to fucking, and you're gating me from having a fucking good time. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? How the fuck are you gonna justify having a $10 monthly fee and then be like, oh, the game is good after 100 hours? Like, what? What? The game should be good the second I fucking put my credit card information in, you piece of shit. What the fuck is this? It's like if they sold you a car and they're like, oh, you know, you have to really warm up the fucking car for it to work. It's like a brand new car and they're like, the car gets good after 100,000 kilometers. What the fuck are you talking about? Why? That makes no sense at all, bro. Like, okay, and the combat on the Pugilist. The combat on the Pugilist was this. Press 1, which activates your ability to press 2, which activates your ability to press 3, which after you press 3, you have to go back to pressing 1. So I was literally pressing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, with 2.5 seconds in between each press. I was like, this is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard of in my life. This is dreadful. This is horrible. I was almost in tears about how fucking awful the combat was. Literally, dude. I was like, how the fuck, like I can't sit here and be like, oh, I'm amazed at the world, when literally they're telling me, and there's no other fucking way of going about it, okay? There's no other way of going about this combat. You press 1, which enables 2, which then enables 3, which disables your ability to use the other 2, and you have to go back to using 1 again. Really? Like, that's the best you've got? That's the best you've got? Let's have a look at the Revenant here, okay? Let's have a look at the Revenant, right? This is the expansion class, okay? So it's a little bit more complicated. No, well, not really, because the base fucking classes are more complicated than this. But let's look at this. So what I do with the Revenant, honestly, what the fuck? It's not an MMO for MMO players. It's not. It's just fucking not. And I'm an MMO player. I love MMOs. It's probably most people's first MMO. Most people who are playing it. I don't like. Yeah, a lot of WoW players went from. A lot of the popular WoW streamers went from WoW to Final Fantasy XIV. You want to know why they did that? The reason why they did that is because everybody in their chat is saying, play Final Fantasy XIV. If you're a streamer and your job is streaming and making money, and you're quitting the game that made you all that money in the first place, what are you going to do? You're going to go where the fuck your audience tells you to go, because if you don't, they'll stop watching you. It's literally a poll of what are you going to play after you quit WoW. Well, everyone's playing Final Fantasy XIV. And if I play Final Fantasy XIV, you know, I'll make more money. And that makes it fun. Yeah, but I don't make any fucking money from playing Final Fantasy XIV. Okay, I don't make any money. And I am an MMO player. I love MMOs to death. They're awesome. Okay, I'm not saying I've played every fucking MMO there is, but I've played the best fucking ones. I played World of Warcraft when that was pretty good. Mr. Pandaria was pretty good. I raided in Mr. Pandaria. I had a fucking warrior. I had a really fucking high item level. I wasn't bad. I got as far as you can go with pugging. Okay, I got ahead of the curve for what's it called? The Siege of Orgrimmar, right? I got the mount and everything. Okay, so that was my peak WoW raiding experience. It's not easy. That's not a casual thing to do. You know what I mean? I didn't get fucking carried either. It took me a long ass time to do it. You know what I mean? So, like, I do play MMOs and I have raided and I have gotten to that like upper limit. So, Final Fantasy does nothing for me whatsoever. Like, it's literally going back in time. I might as well play WoW Classic. With the sheer amount of inconvenient bullshit that you have to deal with. Like if you're playing a warrior, which in my opinion that's my favorite class. I love warrior. I don't want to play a caster. I don't want to play a rogue, and I don't want to play a hunter. I want to play a warrior because they're fucking dope. Okay, but you have to eat in between every kill. And your abilities, you can barely fucking use them. Your auto attack, which is like not even a thing, that's not a part of the game, dude. Like, you don't use any brain power to use your auto attack. You right click on them and you start auto attacking. But that's the main thing you fucking do because that's what charges your rage, right? So you just sit there like this, attacking the ostrich like this. No, that's way too fast. It's like this. This is the main core gameplay of Vanilla WoW. And this is the main core gameplay of Final Fantasy XIV. This shit. It's like I have to turn off my fucking brain to play this game. Like, I just go to sleep, dude. I go to sleep because it's too long in between needing me to do anything and anything else. Also, I don't even fucking like Final Fantasy. Does anyone actually fucking like Final Fantasy? Does anyone actually fucking like Final Fantasy at all? Or is that just people's fucking first entry into anime? Like, there's no fucking... What's the point of Final Fantasy at all? It's just anime. That's the point. It's anime. Like, there's no... What are you gonna... It's an RPG. Okay. It's literally just an RPG with anime shit in it. But, like, what... You know, at least... I don't know, man. Fuck. It doesn't... Dude, fucking oath, man. Fucking oath. Do you know why people like Final Fantasy? In my opinion? Yeah, Pokemon is dope, though. Because you actually get to collect, like, animals. You know? Like, you're going around the world, seeing new animals, collecting new animals, you're training your animals. They're, like, you're friends with your fucking animals. You know what I mean? Like, they're your motherfuckers. Like, they're your N-words, you know? So, you hang out with them. You train them. You overcome obstacles with them. That shit's cool. It's extremely fucking, like, cool and relatable, and everybody likes Pokemon up until a point. You know, lately it hasn't been the best franchise in the world because it's not as fresh, it's not as new, it's not as exciting, and they're running out of shit to do, which makes perfect sense. I mean, every game has an expiry date, even World of Warcraft, you know. But yeah, like, who the hell actually likes Final Fantasy? It's the game you get because it comes with your console. It's the game you get because... I don't know, dude. You know what? Because it came out on NES, or either it was an NES or SNES. I think it was NES, right? And the thing about it was, it's a game you can sink an absolute fuck ton of hours into, okay? Because there's min-maxing, and they created an algorithm, basically, which allows you to have so much automated content. There is a ton of automated content. Mario does not have automated content. Okay? Like, no games up till that point were relevant and had automated content that you could just sit there for fucking 12 hours and grind, and then you'd have a payoff for grinding. Every other game was just, Mario, you start the level, you get to the end of the level, that's it. You know what I mean? Like, what other fucking games were out at that point? Like, barely anything at all. There were, like, no games out when Final Fantasy happened. So it's the first game where you can just sit down, and it's like reading a book series. There's so many hours you can put into it. You can sit down and no-brain it, and you're actually doing something, even though you're, like, not using your brain for anything at all. You know? So I can totally understand why. It was, like, the first actual fucking game. Basically. You know? Like, before that, what was it? It was like Pong, dude. It was like Pong. You just click the fucking ball. Whatever the fuck, you know? Like, games were not taken seriously. And then they added the RPG system. Everyone loves an RPG system, dude, because it's progression, and we love progression. Human beings are hardwired to enjoy progression. So you create a game with an absolutely massive amount of progression and rewards for your progression, and all of a sudden, wow, it's popular as fuck. But it's not 1994 anymore. Okay? Now the question comes up, it's like, why is this shit still around? Like, what possibly could you be fucking doing with this shit at all? Like, why? Like, I feel like people don't really know what the, like, what is Final Fantasy, dude? What is it? It's not exciting, it's not interesting anymore. It's just gonna be the same fucking RPG again and again. You know, they do non-turn-based ones, and then they do turn-based ones. They fuck around with they can do anything they fucking want, because the only characteristic of it, the only consistent characteristic of a Final Fantasy game is that it's anime and there's probably RPG elements in it. That's it. You know, and it's like, okay, but there's a billion anime games with RPG elements now. I mean, I do want to be a hater, actually. I totally want to be a hater, because fuck this shit. Fuck this shit. I can't believe that Guild Wars has a very, very committed player base, right? And it does bring in new players and stuff, but it's got this kind of like ugly little cousin syndrome going on. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really, it's not considered, in my opinion, it should be so much more popular. And I just hate to see this fucking Final Fantasy game, which has done nothing new. Not a single fucking thing about this game is new. Okay? It's just WoW. That's it. Like, if I was to explain to someone what Final Fantasy is like, I'd say it's WoW but anime and with big budget, because somehow they managed to fucking crack the market. Back in who the fuck knows when, 1992. So that's why they have all this money, okay? Because they were the first people to actually fucking make an RPG that was accessible enough for the Western audiences and the Japanese audiences and all this shit. But what is Final Fantasy? You know, it's a faceless fucking mega corporation. Cool. That's so cool. And in their game, like, there's no story, bro. Everyone's like, immerse yourself in the story, but there is none. Let's be fucking real for a second. What's the story? I've played it. I've played it like 3-4 fucking times. You know, different characters and everything. What is the story? You're the warrior of light. Okay. Honestly, bro, that's all it is. It's just familiar enough. And yes, it's important for things to be familiar enough, but let's be real, bro. Guild Wars took all the shit from WoW that was dope as fuck, and then removed all the shit from WoW that was trash. Okay? It removed the bullshit. Why the fuck do I have to do this? I mean, it does have that in certain areas, but you're not forced to do it to play the game. You're not forced to do anything. It's an MMO RPG. You can do whatever you fucking want. In World of Warcraft, you can do like one of 3 things, or you can do all 3 things. You can PvP, you can PvE, which means grinding for gear all the time, and doing world quests. Like, that's what you do. What else is there to do? Like, you don't explore the world, because it doesn't matter. You don't enjoy the story because it's not consistent. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, the story is a piece of shit. Not even the fucking Blizzard devs give a fuck about the story anymore. You know why? Because there's just so much. Because they have 75 monkeys in a fucking basement typing out different parts of the story without even discussing it with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are characters who you're like, why the fuck? It's like they created this entire world, but unfortunately, it clashes with its own fucking self. So, like, you can't really enjoy the story of World of Warcraft. The overarching story of World of Warcraft is the orcs invaded Azeroth. The orcs came from another place. The reason for that is because there's a big evil motherfucker called Sargeras, who's a titan, who's one of the first things that were ever created in the world, okay? So Sargeras starts fucking with the orcs, basically, you know, through a chain of command, and then the orcs come over to Azeroth to escape it. You know, and but they also drink the fucking blood of Sargeras or whoever the fuck, and it turns them green, so they get all these magic powers and all this shit, right? And then after that, what happens? After that, there's the Burning Temple, Illidan. We remember Illidan. What was Illidan doing? I don't know. I don't know what he was doing. Was he really a betrayer, or did they redeem the cunt? Like, honestly, Illidan basically did nothing wrong, and we just go and kill him and beat his ass. Why? He tried to save his people because his people had no other fucking choice, and we still kill his ass, and we still think he's the bad guy or whatever fuck, and it's all good, right? Aside from that, we got, after that's the Lich King, who's a force of nature, who also basically did nothing wrong. Like, we kind of understand why he's there, and there needs to be a Lich King, so we kill him. So, and then after that is Deathwing. The cataclysm happens, they reset the whole fucking world, or whatever, basically. And we end up killing Sargeras. We beat his ass. He's not even there anymore. The game should have ended there. Because up till that point, every bad thing that had happened in that world was basically the fault of Sargeras. If we really want to talk, the whole game exists because of Sargeras. Right? Because he went and tricked the orcs. Or he went and did a double bind on the orcs. It's like, join me or get killed by me. So they were like, okay, we'll join you and run away. They did join him. They fucking did. They turned green. You know? And then we beat Sargeras. And then roll credits. But no, that's not what happened. We go back to fighting each other again for some godforsaken reason. Forsaken reason, lol, that's funny. It's just, yeah, it's like, okay, it's fucking over. It's fucking over. There's no story to do. There's no interesting characters anymore. They are not able to ride off of their past successes anymore with their RTS games. Okay, so no more Sargeras, no more Illidan, no more Lich King, no more fucking Deathwing, all done. Not that Deathwing was even riding off of their past successes, but there you go. Now what is it? It's been detached from the umbilical cord, and it's on its own. And it's not surviving very fucking well, you know? The story in Guild Wars 2 is a lot more, you can do a lot more with it in my opinion, because it's just a bunch of people, they all live here, they have their interspecies conflicts and all that stuff, but that's not the main point. Maybe it was the main point back in the first game, but now what we deal with is the dragons. Okay, so basically there are these big forces of nature, the dragons, and we are just surviving against them. That's all this is. This entire area, the fact that we're even here, okay, I'm gonna show you something, right? I don't know if you've ever played Heart of Thorns, but this is the Heart of Thorns expansion. I'm gonna turn my graphics up so you can actually experience this in a greater, we're gonna turn up this to native. Okay, and then we're gonna turn up shaders. Just those two things. I feel like those two things are the biggest, like, thing. So we're gonna go down here, and I'm gonna show you something. I fucking died. Oh no, I'm in an instance. I'm not allowed to go down there. But I gotta do this whole instance. I don't really want to do this whole instance. Okay, but I'm gonna tell you what it is anyway. So we'll turn this back down, and then we turn that down. Essentially, this place is called Maguma, right? And Maguma is where the jungle dragon, big force of nature guy, that's where he lives. All of these big vines that you can see, all of this shit, that's his, right? So we had a big fleet of our guys come in, and they got fucked up by this jungle dragon, because the jungle dragon, he kind of is the progenitor of the Solvari, so the grass people that live in this place. And he made them as kind of sleeper agents, so that he can take over the world, right? And this guy's a big fucking deal. You know, like, it's world-bending shit. And this is the first expansion, right? And basically, he is all of everything you see here, that's him. The whole thing is him. He's in this bitch. You know what I mean? Like, down, if you go all the way down to the bottom of the map, because this map has so many fucking layers to it, they had to introduce the fucking gliders because there's so much, like, level variant. Like, there are different levels that you can kind of be at, you know? So it's very, very, very high. It's probably a whole kilometer or 2 fucking kilometers worth of vertical traversal that you can do just in this fucking map. And there's 4 sections of this fucking map, right? But right at the bottom you see his heart. It's this gigantic fucking beating, pulsating fucking heart, and you can go down there, and if you fall into it, you die, but you can see it, and it gives you this feeling of like, fuck, okay, I doubt Final Fantasy could ever do anything like that for me, dude. Like, this game does not market itself anywhere near well enough. I had no idea that they introduced gliders. I had no idea that they even introduced mounts. because I don't know who the fuck they're marketing to, but like I didn't see any of this shit until I decided to come back, just of my own fucking volition, because I was like, I want to play an MMO, but I don't want to pay a sub fee for something that I'm going to be fucking dissatisfied with. And then I remember Clancy always used to say, you know what's really good about Guild Wars 2 is that I can just come back whenever I feel like. I don't have to fucking pay to play again. You know, I can just come back. I just download the game and I can play it again. Boom, done. Boom, finished. And I was like, that is so non-committal and lovely. And then you show up and it's like, we've done all of this shit. We got fucking Fortnite Breath of the Wild gliders in this bitch now. And the mounts are amazing. You've seen the mounts. They're fucking crazy, dude. They are fucking insane. Like, this ain't some fucking... You know what's really stupid? Is that there are 6 variants. Oh no, there's more than that. There's like 8 variants on the mounts. There's like 8 different mount types, right? So you got your Griffin, you got your 2 flying mounts, the Skyscale Dragon and the Griffin, right? And then you've got your ground mounts, your speed ground mounts, which are the Raptor and the Roller Beetle, right? The Roller Beetle is insanely fucking fast. This thing moves so fucking fast. It's got a speed boost on it. You can do tricks on it. It's got a fucking Mario Kart drift thing on it. You can do races. There's races for it. There's also races for the Raptor. The Raptor can move. He can jump horizontally like a fucking million miles. And when he lands on the floor, you feel it, bro. There are animations for everything. Like, there are animations for... It's like actually being on a fucking raptor. It's like actually riding a fucking dinosaur. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no, like, we have... Do you know what World of Warcraft has? World of Warcraft has 2 mounts. It has 2 mounts in the whole game. If you want to compare it to Guild Wars, World of Warcraft has 2 mounts in the whole game, and everything else is a reskin of those same 2 mounts. You got the flying mount and you got the ground only mount. And you know what's fucking fucked about that? Is the ground mount is exactly the same as the flying mount, just worse. That's it. That's the only difference. Every mount moves exactly the fucking same. It serves the exact same fucking purpose. In this game, you've actually got like 8 different mounts that all work differently. You've got the skimmer, which goes over water. Oh, actually, there is a fucking water mount, but it's only one thing and it looks like shit. It's a stupid fucking little skitter. It has like 6 legs and it fucking goes on the water and shit. But it's like, you don't even need that because you can just fly over the water anyway. So who gives a shit? You're probably gonna get flying before you fucking get the skitter, the skimmer, or whatever the fuck that thing is called, right? And then Final Fantasy is the same fucking thing. You know, WoW's like, oh, we're introducing new mounts. Oh, it's like, no, you're not. No, you aren't. That's not a new mount. That's a mount skin. And Guild Wars has mount skins too. Okay? You've got your 8 mounts, and then you've got a billion fucking mount skins for your 8 mounts. But there's different fucking purposes for these mounts, you know? But yeah, man, that's Guild Wars 2. Anyway, like, there's just so much shit. I came back to this and I was like, oh my fucking god. How the hell did you decide to do all of this shit and not tell me about it? Why'd you do this, Guild Wars? They did all of this shit to make this game absolutely fucking incredible, and they didn't tell anyone about it at all. I had to find out for myself just from showing up. I didn't even know what they had in this bitch. I had no idea. But I feel like coming back after the 2 expansions dropped was the perfect fucking idea. Alright, motherfucker, let's go. Not to mention, every single expansion, right, introduces new ways of playing your class. They don't just change your old class. You know, like in WoW, they might add a new class, 1 new class, right? They've added, I think they've added 3, okay? The Demon Hunter, the Death Knight, and the other one. But basically the specs have been the same the monk, right? The monk. The specs have been the same, like, all through the game, right? You got arms, you got fury, you got prot. You got ret, you got holy, you got prot, right? You got shadow, holy, and discipline, right? But in this game, every time there's an expansion release, they introduce a new spec, an entirely new way to play your actual class. So far there's been 2 expansions, so there's 2 elite specializations. And you can play your standard, right? Just this stuff. You can do that. Like, there are certain classes who actually aren't too bad like that. Like, for example, the standard, what's it called? The standard Guardian is kind of viable in good gear. Like, it's not that far off from being actually good, right? The Power Guardian, you can play Power Guardian. It's not that bad. But, you know, there is a huge power spike a lot of the time with both of these, and Firebrand is kind of just like Core Guardian, but kind of better. Like, it's got more options. But every time there's an expansion release, you get a new... It's like a new class for every class. It's really fucking... It's crazy. It's like a new entire class to play with every expansion. Every single class has a new option. You know? So I'm going to train my Renegade once this hero point train actually starts up. Let's see. We want this. Heart of Thorns. Hero points. Okay. But yeah, man, Final Fantasy, dude. I'm just like, I don't know. I can't play it. It's literally like playing a slideshow. That's what it feels like. Like, the graphics are nice and everything feels really nice and weighty and all of this, but I would just prefer this game with that game's graphics. Not even actually that game's graphics, but like the like wow factor of it. You know, like damn. But it's easier to fucking make anime games that look good, as opposed to like like MMOs that look good. That's why everyone's gonna go to New World, right? Everyone's gonna play New World when that shit comes out. I don't even give a flying, flinging fucking shit about that game. You could not pay me to play that shit. You know why? Because I know exactly what it is. It's another MMO made for people who don't even fucking play MMOs. I don't give a damn about going to... Where the fuck are they even going? Where the actual fuck are they even going? Dude, yeah, straight up. Where the fuck are they even going? It's like you're the colonizers or some shit of some fucking country. I don't even know. Spanish Inquisition or some bullshit like that. And there's like undead. Okay, cool. That's awesome. I don't give a fucking rat's ass. And I don't care for playing games that everyone else is playing, because at the end of the day, if I don't enjoy the game myself, most of the time I play these games by myself anyway. I played Guild Wars, I got to cap, I didn't have a single person to play with at all. Like, okay, because I've played Guild Wars like 3 times in total. Like 3, like, runs, kind of. The first time I ended up losing my computer, so I couldn't really continue playing it. I think I got to like level 40 or something. The second time I capped a Guardian, you know, just a big Norn Guardian. I was like, you know, I might as well play this. And I just played World v World. Like, literally, I played nothing but World v World. I just got to 80 playing World v World. Edge of the Mists, which isn't even the actual World v World map. It's just you get in a big train and then you run around. And you get all of this XP just from being there, basically. Because that's how Clancy said you can level easily, so I did that. I got to cap, and I realized there's no content. There was no content. The only thing to do was PvP. I don't even think they'd released Heart of Thorns at this stage. No, I think they did actually. That's how we got Edge of the Mists. I'm pretty sure. So they had released, like, oh fuck, I just got whooped. Oh no. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. No. Whoa. Rally. So I did that. I got to cap. I was like, what's the gear like? And then there was no reason to actually play with anyone, because all of the gear you could just get off the auction house. And I was like, okay, well, this is stupid. And then I stopped playing. Then I came back and I realized I can make whatever fucking character I want, you know? Because like the customization is so intricate, and they actually kind of, I feel like they have the best system for making characters. If you really sit down and make what you want to make, you can make something really fucking cool. You know what I mean? But I made me. I made a character that looks exactly like me. Well, not exactly like me, but similar enough, right? This was after Path of Fire came out as well. I called him Lord Tightbeat, and he was my engineer, because I was like, I want to make an engineer. I made my little engineer guy. I gave him, you know, my features, my brown skin and my black hair and all that.
and I just played the shit out of that. Got to cap, and I started doing the expansion story and shit. And I was like, damn, you know, I got my glider, and I was like, this is amazing. This gives me so much, like, this is so fucking fun. I can't wait to use this as much as possible, you know? I was like, this is single player game content. This is not MMO content, you know? Okay, where am I going now? Return to the Pact Survivors makeshift camp. So I was like, I'm gonna fucking play the shit out of this. I took a bunch of screen caps, I made an Instagram page for my character, and I posted a bunch of pictures of the character on the Instagram page. And I was like finally actually playing an MMO. And I was being me in the MMO. Like not even fucking joking, you know, like I'm not wearing crazy magical armor. I was literally just wearing a leather, like a leather coat, and I had a gun, I had a rifle for most of the fucking thing. You know, because I was like, I want to play something, and the whole time I was playing, I was like, this is basically Red Dead Redemption. I was just wearing a fucking coat, and I was using a rifle, and I was just shooting things from a distance. I would fucking play like really zoomed in, so it actually felt like a single player game, because you know, single player games always have the camera right up your fucking ass. So I was doing that, just using my gun and shit, and I was like, this is dope as fuck. And I can finally sit down and just play an absolute shit ton of like an MMO and feel rewarded, because it's like my own little journey, you know? And I don't know, I needed to be me for it, for me to actually continue giving a fuck. I needed to be something close enough to reality that, you know, it felt like I was going somewhere or doing something, you know? Just to add that extra connection. Hey dude, what you up to? I did that. I played through the all that content, and then I just played a fuck ton of PvP, because wooden potatoes. And okay, most people they're not gonna believe me when I say this, because I feel like, okay, so Wooden Potatoes posted this engineer build. It was the flamethrower scrapper, because I wanted to be able to actually play my engineer viably. And I saw the scrapper, I was like, the scrapper is fucking dope, you know, because you know, you can use a hammer as engie, right? I'm lagging like a bitch right now. It's not great. 334. We've gone back down, but we're getting little ping spikes. Anyway, I wanted to play scrapper because I was like, that's fucking dope. That's manly as hell. You know what I mean? Like, you get a hammer and you become really fucking tanky, and you get like shield when you deal damage. And I looked up the build, and it's like flamethrower scrapper open world build, and I'm like, okay, let's try this out. And I looked at the way that the builds worked, right? The builds in this fucking game, look, on release, I don't think they were that good. It was a little bit too complicated. Like, there was like levels to different traits or some shit. I don't even know, you know, I didn't give a damn. But now it's just this. And this thing is amazing, in my opinion. This thing is incredible. Like, this is exactly what traits should be. You can pick your specialization, and then you can pick the traits in the specialization, right? But the flamethrower, like the scrapper, had all of this synergy with the flamethrower. Like, I'm actually gonna log into, after I finish this, I'll log into my fucking scrapper, and I'll show you what it does. Because the moment I saw this, it was my moment of like, oh shit. There is an untapped thing here that I didn't realize before. I was like, I can really get into this system for a long ass time, because the other builds are going to be like similar enough, right? But the key word here is synergy, right? I'll show you like on the actual thing, because it's fucking dumb. Like, I don't want to explain it in words, but the moment I saw it, I was like, this is fucking awesome. Holy fuck, I'm lagging like a bitch. Dude, get me out of here. I don't think I'm gonna survive. God damn it. This is kind of what sucks about being like core spec when you start out the expansion content, is that the core spec is fucking weak as hell. And also I'm in full rare gear, which is rubbish. I'm not sure what build I'm gonna go with yet, but I know it's gonna be Renegade, that's for sure. Renegade gets to use like a short bow. The build I pick might not even end up using the short bow, but like, I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna get that shit anyway. Cause I just, you know, I like the big numbers, bro. I really fucking like the big numbers. Oh, this lag. Holy fuck. I wonder if the stream is suffering because of this too. Crap. Yeah, I really don't want to be here right now. I'm kind of like upset about it. Oh, I'm so weak. And it's, my build is no different than my leveling build. It's exactly the same. So it's not very exciting either. Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Honestly, yeah, it is a very fucking tough area. People complain about it all the time. There is a ton of really big fucking dinosaur enemies all over the place, and they knock you down so often. Which, on some level, I get it. You know, I totally fucking get it, because if something was that big and it hit you, you would get flown back like 100 fucking meters. But in an MMO, it's actually really fucking annoying, because it just kind of makes it so there's a bunch of enemies you don't want to fight everywhere, and like you're like, what the fuck, you know what I mean? It's kind of, yeah, it's kind of like more, they want you to play it in a group, this like expansion, because at that point I don't think most people were strong enough to actually go around fighting things like bristlebacks or fucking the big dinosaurs and shit. Like, so it's like, it's almost like there's just a bunch of like elites everywhere that you can't fight, so it feels a bit inaccessible, especially for a new player. A new player would have a lot of trouble here, because you'd have to realize that, oh, I'm actually not supposed to fight most things. That's how you'd have to feel. Or you just, you know, feel really, really fucking weak. Oh, there's the knockback. There's a lot of knockback. It kind of annoys me sometimes. Like, there's a lot of CC. Yeah. Alright, we got him. Nice. God, my character is so fucking cute. I love the big ass boots. It's very cool. Very barbarian. And I've decided to go with the BDSM glasses too. Spiky helmet. And better than ever. This guy's the same spec as me.
Ritlock's right. We need to find Destiny's Edge and hit Mordremoth where it lives. Let's go, Tribune. Time for us to kill another Elder Dragon.
Elder Dragon. Yeah, because core story, you kill Zaitan, who's... Oh, I actually have access to that. I should have done that first. What the hell? But you kill Zaitan, who's like the undead Elder Dragon. And this guy's Mordremoth, the jungle Elder Dragon. And then there's also Krakatorik, who's like purple crystals. He makes everything into purple crystals. And he's massive. Like, you could see him from space. If you had a satellite in Krakatorik, you know, for measure, you could probably see that motherfucker from space. Like, he shows up in the game and he takes up like fucking this much of your screen. It's just massive head. Okay, so we're done with this. Okay, maybe another part of the reason why I really like this game's like combat system and build system as well is because I've actually played a lot of Magic the Gathering. When I came to Sydney, I would go to this place called the Nerd Cave. Wow, there's a lot of players here in this area right now. Anyway, we're gonna log out, go to character select. I played a lot of Magic the Gathering, EDH, Elder Dragon Highlander, it was called, the game mode, or Commander as well. You could call it. So this is the character I made. This guy right here, Lord Type Beat. I played a lot of Commander EDH, and the concepts in that game are very like, they're very RPG elementy, you know what I mean? Because it is, you know, made by a bunch of nerds. Like, originally it was a very like nerdy sort of, you know, design, but you know, you get stuff like Trample, you get stuff like Death Touch, and these are like attributes. You get stuff like Vigilance, which means, you know, you don't have to tap when you attack. You get stuff like Haste, which means as soon as the card comes down, you can attack. And then there's just a shit ton of like, there's so many cards, so there's so many synergy options, right? And when things link together, you're like, oh, that's really fucking cool. WoW does not have that. WoW never had that. It never had that. In my opinion, maybe it had a little bit here and there, but most of it was just like linear. This is better, now this is better, now this is better. And that's what you got for customization. It wasn't like, oh, this goes into this and this goes into this. Like, I'm gonna show you my build here with the Scrapper. So this is a flamethrower Scrapper, right? Scrapper is the, what's it called? He's the first elite. The first elite spec that came out with Heart of Thorns was the Scrapper, right? And then they released the Holosmith after that. I don't really fuck with Holosmith because I feel like it fucks with the engineer like fantasy for me, because it's just a bunch of like holograms and all of this stuff. And I get it, you know, it's technology, I get that, but I don't want to be a Holosmith. I would much rather be a Scrapper because that's much more engineer to me. You know, it feels a lot more engineery. But I saw his build with Scrapper and I was like, holy fuck, like this is really, really interesting. Like this is really, really cool. So we're just gonna go through this tree here. So Scrapper gets access to like these things called gyros, which are these little like, he didn't even pop up. That's fine. I pop my yellow gyro, there he is there, just above my head. He gets access to these things. I've got my red gyro as well, there he is there. And there are other gyros and stuff that you can use as well. But I pretty much only use those two, and the function gyro, which is, you know, everyone has that. So you get access to gyros, and you get that access to the F5 skill, the function gyro, which reses people, like kind of, you know, automatically reses people. So when people get down, you can walk up to them and press F, and you start healing them. This thing does that. And then, so you can double res just on your own. You can basically res one guy with two people just by yourself with the function gyro, which I think is really fucking cool. So the first trait here is called mass momentum, right? So you gain might while you have stability. And this all wraps around. All of this is going to wrap around. It will take a while, not that long to get through it. It's pretty easy to understand. But you got this thing called mass momentum. So when you have stability, your function gyro applies stability. Your function gyro also applies stability to allies. When you have stability, you get might. And might gives you, am I level capped here? 11 condition damage and 11 power. So basically you can stack might up to 25, which is just like, this stat that just increases your power and your condition damage by 11 for every stack. So with 25 stacks, you'd have like 270 something extra power and condition damage. The next thingy is using a heal skill grants super speed, which is pretty cool. You also get this thing here, bypass coding, so you got a lot of super speed. You run around really fucking fast, and yeah, you give it to allies as well, which is not that important. Then you've got this object in motion. You deal increased strike damage while you have stability. Okay, that's gonna come around, right? Swiftness or super speed, which you get all the fucking time. You get it when you use a heal skill. You get it when you use this. And I believe there are probably other ways of getting it as well. And also swiftness, which you also get from this build. I believe you get it from some sort of combo with the blast gyro and the fire field that you get with flamethrower. So 5% extra damage per boon. So this is a flat 5% damage. And then another 5% damage when you have super speed on. So that's 10%. And then when you have swiftness as well, that's another 5. So that's up to 15% extra damage. And then there's Kinetic Accelerators. Gain concentration based on your power, and when you grant super speed to a target, also grant quickness. Boom. There you go. There you go. So just by giving yourself super speed, you also get the quickness. So this trait here gives you 15% extra damage. Flat 15%. Like when you're in the shit, you know what I mean? And you also get Impact Savant, which is like these three here. So these three, 1, 2, and 3, they're always there, and these ones are the ones you get to pick, right? So the last one is Kinetic Accelerators, which allows you to max this out to 15%. Now where it all comes around is right here, Juggernaut. The Juggernaut Trait. Now this shit is amazing. It's incredible. I don't even know why they allow this. I was in a raid yesterday, my first raid, and they were talking about it. They were talking about how fucking stupid it is. They were like, what the hell, you know? I can't believe they allow that shit in the game. And it makes perfect sense. Why do they allow this shit in the game? I couldn't believe it. I couldn't fucking believe it, right? But you gain might and stability while wielding a flamethrower. So I'm just gonna switch over to my flamethrower. And if you look down here, my might, I'm not doing anything. I'm just holding the fucking flamethrower. And look at my might. I'm at 12 stacks, 13 stacks. It's going up to 14 stacks, 15 stacks, 16. My might just keeps increasing. When I'm in combat, I cap out at 25. I don't even need to do shit to get 25 might. Just by holding this flamethrower, just by pressing the flamethrower button and having it in my hand, I grant myself 60 to 70 fucking condition damage and power. And that's not even the best part. The best part is the permanent stability. So stability means you can't be CC'd. Nothing can CC you. Not knockbacks, not stuns, not fucking feared, not taunted, pulled, nothing. Nothing can move you. You are immovable, and you have an absolute fuck ton of extra damage just from this trait. Right? And you also combine that with the other traits from the firearms tree. You get crits, cause bleeding. You crit all the time. In your good gear, in exotic berserker gear or exotic viper gear, you crit all the fucking time. All the good gear gives you crit chance, and then it causes bleed. Right, so you bleed them with crit. So not only are you burning them with your fucking flamethrower, which gives them, you know, it burns them, you're also bleeding them with your crits. So you get burn and bleed. Your crit chance is increased by 15% when you're like in melee range. So basically, okay, the range of the flamethrower is 425 and the range of high caliber is 300. So if you're not hitting them right at the very end of the flamethrower cone, which is pretty fucking big. Let's actually have a look. If you're hitting them kind of like in this range, which you can do because you get so much super speed and you have a stun on your bar and you have all of this other shit you can get in that range, your crit chance is increased by 15%. So you're going to be critting and bleeding all the fucking time, right? Then you've got Hematic Focus. You have increased crit chance against bleeding foes, which is fucking like, how the fuck do they allow this shit to happen? Right? So I bleed on crit, 33% chance to bleed on crit, and then I also have a 15% increased chance to crit. And then when I do bleed them, I get another 10% chance to crit, which makes more bleeding happen, right? Then I've got no scope. Critical hits on foes within the range threshold have a chance to grant Fury, and Fury gives you 20% crit chance, and also this trait makes it so Fury gives you 40 ferocity when you've got it. Right? And it also increases your ferocity by 32 by default. It's just like damage. Like, I don't know what the fuck they're thinking, but you can just make this ridiculous build. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I popularized this build in PvP. Motherfuckers were not playing this to the degree that they are playing it now before I started playing this shit. I'm gonna show you the age of my character. I played 313 hours, which is not that crazy. But I made this character 587 days ago. Right? So, over 2 years ago, I started playing this character. The flamethrower scrapper build in PvP, I showed it to Jebro. I'm the guy that introduced this build to Jebro. And Jebro is one of the motherfuckers who's known for playing Engineer on YouTube and Twitch. He's one of the bigger content creators for Guild Wars. Okay, you've got Wooden Potatoes, who's the biggest one, and then you've got Valen, and then you've got Muckluck, and then you've got people like Jebro and Kroof and these other people. But I introduced the flamethrower scrapper build to Jebro, and he went and made a bunch of videos on it after I showed it to him. Okay, so I am definitely a catalyst for why this build is even played today. I mean, someone else would have done it, but I did do it. That's the fact. I came in before this shit was... This build was a world v... It was an open world build when Wooden Potatoes was talking about it. It was open world. That's what he was talking about. He wasn't talking about any other fucking purpose of this build whatsoever. And then I made some alterations and I went and brought it into PvP. I was like, wait, does this shit work in PvP? Because my might, I'm not expending any resource. I'm not doing anything at all. And I'm getting 15, 16 stacks of might, dude. I'm just standing here. And then I get Iron Blooded, dude, which is 2% reduced incoming damage and 2% reduced incoming condition damage for every boon I have. When you're actually playing the game, that fucking caps out at like 10% reduced damage. Plus the barrier you get from your attacks you get from Impact Savant. 15% of all the damage you deal is turned into shield. So you get an absolute fuck ton of shield when you burst, right? Let's see. So yeah, Wooden Potatoes started the fucking build as far as I could tell. You know, he showed me the thing that it does, the mass momentum, Juggernaut, fucking object in motion, and you know, that shit. Just these ones here, these two, and then that one. The last trait doesn't really matter that much. I think he might go with like that. Yeah, that's pretty fucking good though. Barriers you receive are stronger. 15% barrier increase. And reduce incoming condi damage when... Holy fuck, why am I going with this? Oh, because it's more damage. That's why. Because I get a 15%. And then gain concentration based on a percentage of your power. Oh my fucking god. I've been playing this as Berserker when I should have been playing this as Viper the whole time. Like, I know more about the game now, so I can actually like... kind of... Is this Viper? It's all Berserker shit. Oh my god. This was a huge... And I don't even have runes. What the fuck, dude? No wonder this shit doesn't work. I came back because I started playing a more meta version of the game, basically, with my Firebrand, which is really, really fucking strong. So you're all condition damage, you're all in Viper gear, and you're just burning cunts. You're just like 25 stacks of burn, and then your burns are coming out. Every tick of burn comes out at like 15, 16k damage. So far for me. If I was in full Ascended or full Legendary or whatever, I feel like it would be so much higher. Maybe like 20, 30k ticks of burn, which is ridiculous, dude. It's fucking ridiculous. And then you're also like a utility, and you have support stuff that you can do. You can grant Aegis to everybody. You can heal everybody with your F2 like book thing. So yeah, if I actually sat down and put all the runes that I need, I've only got like, there's no synergy with my runes at all. It's just full Berserker gear, because I was playing mostly PvP. So in PvP, you can do it at level 1. You don't even need to like have any gear at all. You don't need any gear at all, because they give you all the gear and they give you all the stats, and then you can select like 3 or 4 different things that you can go in with, but everyone has access to all the stuff in PvP, basically. But if I wanted to play PvE, I could probably like see these runes here, where it says Superior Rune of the Scrapper, 1 out of 6. If you've got you've got 6 pieces, right? So you get the same rune and you put it in all 6 pieces, and it'll give you the full benefits of it. So the Scrapper rune gives you 25 power with 1. Your 2 set gives you 35 toughness. Your 3 set gives you 50 power. Your 4 set gives you 65 toughness. 5 set 100 power, and 6 set gives you 7% reduced damage when within 600 units of an enemy. So that's like, you know, it would be good for like a tanky sort of Scrapper. Scrapper's supposed to be like a tanky thing. But if I went in and got maybe like Runes of Balthazar, and then maybe took like this trait, I could become really fucking tanky, and I would also get like extra condition damage, and like burn damage, because you mostly do burn damage, right? So everything here burns like a motherfucker, right? Even this burns. What the fuck? It's like the Pyro from TF2. He's got an air blast too. It's literally called air blast. I mean, every fucking... And that thing there, area might as well. So that put me up to like 19 might just from doing that. This thing too, this gives me 2 might, and it ticks 4 times. So that's 8 might. I have no problem getting to 25 might, right? And that increases your condition damage as well. Look, I'm at fucking 18 now, 19 it's gone. But the stability never runs out, the might never runs out, like just from holding a flamethrower. And every single thing I do, these 4 abilities do burn. They all burn. And you can stack your burns up to 25 as well, right? And that increases the damage per tick of each burn. Not the duration. The duration can be increased with, I believe, concentration and expertise. Both increase the duration, I believe. So these are all the stats you can possibly have. These 2 at the, this one here is not really important. Magic Find is not really important. But yeah, look, concentration increases burn duration. So you burn for longer. And then expertise. Oh, no, concentration increases your burn duration. Okay, so that's not really that important. I mean, it is. It is important, but it's not the main thing. You want expertise and condition damage. This increases condition duration, and this increases condition damage. Yeah. So if I was all Viper, I'd just be burning fucking motherfuckers like crazy, dude. I'm gonna do that. One day I'll come back to this guy, and I'll switch him over to all Viper gear, and I'll put like Balthazar runes or some other fire-based sort of rune, and the damage that I'll deal will be increased like fucking crazy. I've actually got ascended trinkets, but they're not the ones I need. Yeah, this is a bit hodgepodge, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah. So it's just it's really fucking fun. Once I saw this, once I saw the way you can make the builds, I was just like, I need to fucking play this more. I need to like figure out this stuff because I can make something really, really, really dope and really strong. I don't need to go and use a guide. If I understand the design philosophy behind a build, I can make my own. That's how I felt about it, you know? Yeah, Juggernaut, it's fucking crazy. Yeah, but this was my first like semi-serious character. Like this, I have a lot of like I'll never delete this character, but this character is me. Let's look at his face. Mr. Lord type beat. Let's turn up the graphics. We're gonna just put it on native and increase the shaders. Look at him. I wish I could zoom in a bit closer. But that registers for me. I'm like, yeah, that's me. It's so fucking cool. I love this guy. Yeah. I made a fucking Instagram page for him and everything. I mean, it's gone now. I've deleted it at this stage. But I was like posting and shit, doing PvP and just trying to, just having fun. He's got the same sheen on his fucking hair as me. Like when I see it, I you know when you see a picture of yourself? I was like, I don't need my character to be like super sexy anime fucking guy. I just want to play as myself. You can't play as yourself in fucking WoW because every character looks exactly the same. You know what I mean? Like no other fucking MMO would give me the option to actually play as something that kind of looks like me, kind of sorta, you know? Not Final Fantasy because that's anime stuff. Like it's very fantastical and whatever. But I wanted to, you know, I don't need to escape from reality that much. Because I like reality. Reality is lovely. To a point. To a point. Anyways. I don't even know if you're still here. I don't even know if you're still here. I don't even mind because it's content regardless. Me just talking about shit. People don't give a fuck, honestly. They like Asmongold and I think, oh, there you go. Not to rag on Asmongold, but he's not exactly a fucking super Einstein genius or anything like that. And people still love listening to the guy, so anyways, I'm gonna put my helmet back on. There we go. This one guy that I was playing with thought I was doing like a Star-Lord cosplay because I have Lord in my name and the colors and everything, but it's actually not the case. It's a me cosplay. Yeah. Usually I actually wear a different chest piece. If we go to wardrobe, click chest piece, I usually wear this one. No, not that one. This one, no, that one. That's the one. Yeah, I usually wear that. Let's just dye that a little bit. I usually look like this. I like this. And the blue pants. I had blue pants when I started playing. I would wear blue pants quite often, actually. It's just a lot of stuff that, because that's the thing, I do like myself. I don't need to be something that isn't me. You know what I mean? I'm not all that interested in playing as like, oh, I wish I was a blah, blah, blah. No, I like myself. I think I'm fucking dope. I think I'm dope as hell. And the fact that I could play as myself in this game and have it be believable, because you can't fucking tell me, oh yeah. I mean, yeah, maybe I'm a little bit I like my body's a little bit of a different shape or whatever, but I'm not, you know, massively fat. I'm not tiny, short. You know, I'm pretty fucking tall. I'm like 5'11". You know, so it's not that far off. And I got the facial hair in, and my hair actually looks, dude, like from the back here, that looks like me. That's me. Oh fuck. I love this. I love this game, dude. I love the fuck out of this game, man. Alright. Let's log out. Character select. So right now, damn. So these are my 380s. I've deleted 80s before. Like, I've actually deleted level 80 characters. How many have I deleted at this stage? I've deleted my first Guardian that I played. Gone, right? I deleted my Revenant. Gone. And it was a Char Revenant. I deleted that when I started leveling this one, and I finally hit 80. So we're fully out of the clear with that Revenant. We don't need that Revenant anymore, and he's fucking gone. So just for new slots of characters. I've also deleted Necromancer level 80 because I don't really fuck with Necromancer at all. Like it doesn't do anything for me. Like, I'm not a caster kind of guy. You can see from the characters that I've actually got capped right now. This one's a melee paladin guy. This one's, you know, engineer flamethrower guy, and this guy's the Revenant, so he's melee as well. I don't like casters. I don't like ranged. Like, I like being in the fight, you know. But yeah, now that I've got this one, who else did I delete? I also deleted a level 80 Elementalist that I used a boost on. So I used a boost on the Elementalist, and then I used a fuck ton of tomes for my other Revenant, and a fuck ton of tomes for my Necro, and then I used Edge of the Mist to level my first Guardian. So these two here are the only ones I've actually leveled from level 1. This guy I used a boost as well, that I got with the last expansion, that I got with End of Dragons, because you get a boost with that. So I just boosted, because I was playing a Guardian, you know, like, and I'm super fucking attached to this character. I just boosted from level 1. I just made a Guardian, made him look like this. I haven't changed his visuals or anything like that, and then I just boosted into level 80, and I really sat down and let's have a look at how many hours I've played. But I basically main this guy now. A lot of people say, oh, you don't get as attached to your boosted characters, but the thing is, I'm attached to the class. I'm attached to the game. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't need to go through and do from level 1 to fucking 80 with my Guardian, because I already knew how I wanted to play it, and I already knew what it did, and I've already leveled a Guardian from level 1 to 80, to be fair, you know? So technically I didn't even, you know, boost it. I actually have already had one, and I deleted it, and I made it again. But it was a Norn. I don't like Norn that much. It's a bit too basic. I like humans, because, you know, I can relate to humans. I do like Sylvari. I've got a Sylvari warrior, but I had to use the makeup kit to actually fucking, because you know, the makeup kit thing, the makeover, the total makeover kit introduced a whole bunch of new ways of like having your character look, basically. So there's like brand new, let's actually go and have a look. The reason why I'm streaming and the reason why I'm doing YouTube with this game is because I have so much I can say about it, and there are so many things that I love about it, and I really just want to promote it to as many people as possible. And I'm a pretty outspoken person. Like, I can talk a lot, and I kind of represent a different branch of gamer in Guild Wars. You know what I mean? Like, I'll say things that other people kind of won't, and I feel like, yeah, they're not the best things in the whole fucking world, but, you know, like, it's there, and it might give certain types of people another into Guild Wars. You know, I've got, oh, he's doing map completion stuff. You making a legendary? Okay, so I've got a few people here that I've played a lot with this guy, Caracynthia. He was like new when when I met him. His name was Chaotic the Psychotic, and I was like, okay, like it's not a joke name. It was a bit funny. I was like, hey, look, and also my partner who plays the game every so often also saw him, and then I saw him on my account, and I was like, I have to add this guy and play because he seemed like kind of new, and we played through a lot of the Path of Fire content together, so we kind of still have that thing going on. I think he's gotten a lot more experience. This was maybe only like two weeks ago to a month, something like that. But he's gotten a lot more experienced. He's really doing his own thing now, which is really fucking dope. And I feel like he's probably really gotten a lot better than he was at the beginning. And he plays a lot. Like for like when I see him playing, I'm like, fucking that's super dope. Like I really like that. I really like that somebody new has kind of really dived in and gotten like excited about the game. Like they wake up, they want to play, you know, they go to bed, dream about the game. That's fucking stupid, but I sometimes do. I swear to fucking God. I'm sure I have, you know. But I love that shit. I love seeing new people really start enjoying the game. Like I think it's super fucking dope because it's an amazing game, and it's really cool when people see kind of like the same thing that I see. Because I think this is the best MMO I've ever played in my entire life. This is better than World of Warcraft. I did my first raid last night. It was so fucking fun. You know what really did it for me is the dodge mechanic. The fact that you can dodge out of AoEs and shit is fucking amazing. It makes the movement so much more enjoyable and so much more satisfying. You know what I mean? Because like, it's just another level of like success, you know? Anyway, let's check out the makeover preview. So this is my boy, Mr. Orville, the Firebrand. Haven't got into crafting yet. Okay. So this is my boy Orville. He's lovely. He's a sweet boy. Sweet fire burning man. What does he look like as a female? Oh my god. Nope. Nope. Okay, so he's as short as possible. Skin markings, nothing new there. But if you look in the hairstyles, there are all these exclusive, brand new hairstyles. All of these are the default. So these are the ones you get to choose when you start the game. There's only like 6 or 9 of them. Yeah, he looks a little bit like that. Yeah, he definitely does. But there's all these new hairstyles. I actually love the fuck out of that movie. I had a VHS of that movie. I watched that 100,000 times, dude. I loved like Disney and DreamWorks movies. When I was a kid, I'd watch them on cassette. We'd literally order them because when you buy a new one, you get a little slip to buy another one, right? So if you buy it from the store, you get a little envelope with an option of buying a new one. And I would actually fill out the form and get my mum to do the payment and stuff, and we would send it through the mail, and then they would mail us another VHS of a Disney movie. So I got like Treasure Planet, Monsters Inc., Lilo and Stitch. Those are the 3 I really, really remember. And yeah, I fucking loved them. They were awesome. So there's a few questionable hairstyles with the new stuff, because this is all new stuff, relatively new stuff. I think they probably released this in Path of Fire because they did a huge update with the character models with Path of Fire, because Path of Fire is based in like Egypt, Africa, kind of. It's like in between Egypt and Africa, so they had to introduce a whole bunch of like African or Egyptian like character models, like faces, and a whole bunch of African and Egyptian hairstyles as well. So that's another thing that really fucking got me into the game as well, is the fact that most games don't, especially MMORPGs, they don't give you the option to play as an African person. They don't, because they are a massive part of the gaming market. They play games just as much, if not even more, than most other people, right? Super fucking based. Like, if I was playing a human, I'd show you, but I'll swap over to that later, and I'll show you like the actual African faces and that stuff. But they introduce all these new hairstyles, and to be honest, these hairstyles completely shit on the old ones most of the time. I do like the one I have now. The one I have now is a core hairstyle. I like the little like dreadlocks with the ponytails. I think it really fits into the theme of my character. If I was to ever switch the hairstyle, I'd switch it into this one. And maybe, yeah, I'd switch it into that one, and maybe I'd make the accessory blue. Let's have a look at that. Maybe not that blue. That's closer. Oh, I like that. But that's not Orville's character. Orville is not, you know, because this guy's obviously very suave, very handsome, you know, and Orville is kind of not like that. He's kind of not supposed to be, you know, he's a little goofy, he's very endearing, but he's not like, yeah, I have my own fucking headcanon for these characters. I do, because it allows you to, and it does increase the level of enjoyment for me personally. I don't roleplay, I don't RP, I roleplay in my own head with my characters, not so much with other people.